So this is chapter 23, configuring and securing wireless LAN access point. So this chapter will give more information concerning WLC, how you monitor WLC, how do you configure VLAN, how do you set up DHCP, ideally in a server, hindi sa wireless. No? How do you configure WLAN no, to connect to access point? And I'm going to show you radius server as well, but might as well use an actual server which give authentication. No? So normally, authentication ng wireless, we're going to be using WEP or WPA2 dahil ang radius is not secured. Okay? And then we're going to explore management option like creating seed access points, security key, and groups. No? Then we're going to configure WLAN using WPA2 personal key. Okay, so lalagay natin yan for security reason. So initial setup of WLC as an alternative to using CLI, which is difficult to program. It's kind of difficult sa CLI. We're going to be using a very simplified GUI, graphical user interface. This is a web-based access, no? So we only need to type the IP address of WLC. So this feature will enable after first boot from non-configured WLC. So we're going to have a WLC which is still being used. No, if you haven't seen 2504, it's called Cisco 2504 wireless LAN controller. The WLC. Yan. So this is the one. This is the one. No? So we're gonna use this. So meron tayong console. Just in case you want to console. If it's physical. Pero hindi tayo physical. Then you have a management port. Then meron dito ang dalawang PoE. Ideally connected dito yung access point. No? Like this one. This is the access point. If you can see many antenna, ito yung outdoor naman to. Outdoor. This is outdoor. Okay. Yeah. So weatherproof, no, and waterproof. As you can see, meron siyang three probably MIMO, no. So ideally may PoE kasi ito external. And remember 100 meters kaya nito, no. So without power cord. Ito na yung PoE niya kasi. Andito na yung kuryente niya, no. So ideally ganyan yan. So this can transmit probably within 300, sobra naman 300 meters. Mga ano lang, 10 meters lang. Or 20 or 30. Okay? So, hindi namang lalayo ng napakalayo yan. Okay? So, if you can see, merong port number 1, 2, 3, 4. So, then yan. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, each port has its MAC address. Okay? So, we're gonna connect an access point sa 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Tatlo lang gagamitin natin. Another access point is ito yung internal. No? Normally used inside the premise. No? So this can probably send 10, 20, 30, 40. No? So different config, different range. And this is the front. Ito na may harapan niya. Okay, yan. 2500, no? Then you can have primary and secondary for failover. And another scenario is whenever we configure this one, ideally console, di ba? Pero we're not going to use console. We're gonna use Ethernet. So pwede rin yun. You're gonna connect directly from here or yung WLC will be connected sa switch. Okay? Tapos, switch, we're gonna have 3 access point na connect din sa switch. Okay? Another scenario is, meron ditong gigabit switch and then merong access point. So if you see this kind of icon, no? So WAP yan, access point. Okay, access point. And then from access point, dun kukunik yung mobile phone niya. No? So who's the one transmitting? It's either this one, WLC, or WAP. So what's the difference between the two? Access point is just a point of connecting mobile devices, no? Yung mga Wi-Fi. Ang WLC is a controller. Okay? Sa WLC, we're gonna put yung mga security password, passphrase, everything should be managed in a central point of location. So let's say, try to imagine meron kang 10 access point, no? Kinabit nyo sa mega mall, no? Nanalo kayo ng contract. Sabi ng SM nagsalita. Sabi ni SM, kailangan mo na ng wifi, no? Mula Mega Mall A hanggang Mega Mall D, yung fashion mall, no? So ang dami nun. Remember, range natin, mga depende, no? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Sabihin natin 100 meters. Ilang square meters mga mega mall? Napakalaki, di ba? So you can imagine, more than 200 access point kailangan mo ikabit. So, dito sa Cisco, they made it easier. Dahil itong access point na to, plug and play. You don't need to put IP address. Gagawin mo lang, kukonect mo lang dito sa LAN cable na may PoE itong switch na to. So, kailangan may PoE ito. Okay? Then maximum 100 meters. Para wala ng PowerPoint, power cord, wala ng double cable, Ethernet LAN lang. But the one you're gonna configure is hindi ito. This one na, yung controller na mismo. Okay? Na-imagine nyo ba? So, meron tayong WLC nakakonect sa switch that can be connected to sniffing device, access point, or could be VoIP, or your management PC. Okay? So, ganun ang architecture niya. No? Napakaliit, pero this one is very powerful. So, that's why, if you can see, it's only 4 ports. So, paano kung 200 access point? Kulang talaga yan. So, that's why, kailangan nyo pa ng switch. Okay? Yung power over Ethernet, which has 48 volts, no? And 13 watts yata yan, 13 watts na PoE. Okay? So, kung wala tong power, you need to plug one by one. Napakahirap, no? So another scenario is this one, WLC. Then you're going to be using core switch to manage VLAN. Kasi maraming VLAN yan eh. No? Gagawin nyo. Pero gagawin natin, simple lang. No? CCA-A pa lang to. If you want VLAN configuration, sa CCNP na yun. So we're going to have more than 2 access point. Tapos we're going to turn on 2 cellphone at isang iPad. No? So ganun gagawin natin. Isang iPad, 2 cellphone. Then coconnect tayo sa secure ID niya. Okay, plus with the password. So, isang access point walang password, so we can demonstrate to you na it can connect automatically without password. Much easier, no? And then for security reason, of course, you have to put a password. So, lalagyan natin password, you will experience difficulty, no? Maka-experience kayo, hindi ma-authenticate and so on. So, I'm gonna show you how to do troubleshooting then. So, yun ang buhay ng net admin, no? So, may maraming problem, which is okay, no? Meaning, marami tayong trabaho. Tandaan nyo, it's sending signal using 802.1 ABGN. Okay? Yung tatlong technology na yan. So let's go back here. So WLC, you can also configure yung DHCP. But as you can see, it's not that powerful. So that's why, ideally, kailangan meron kayong Windows server. Okay? To manage LAN DHCP, wireless DHCP, VLAN, no? Separate groups, no? Ideally integrated sa Active Directory kasi napakadaming workstation yan. With the client PC connected, mapped to limited range, no? So you need to define ano yung available for dynamic allocation, no? So magde-define tayo siguro ng 10.10.10.100 to 200. So that means pwede tayo magbato ng 100 IP addresses. Okay? And the way you access is not HTTP. You need S, security. Okay? S, security. Which class? Kasi tatlo klase kasi ngayon. So meron kami ethical hacking, may day 1 CCNA, positive last day natin. Okay? Sa tatlong sessions. So this is a Cisco wireless controller. Okay, so it's GUI, graphical user interface. The first time we had a class is access point lang yung kino-configure namin. Nahihirapan mga estudyante. Kasi sa AP, you need to configure yung SSID plus yung password. No? Ilang AP yun, di ba? Let's say 10. Ang hirap nun. So dito, we're gonna create a single point of management, which is WLC lang. Okay? So we're gonna log in using admin. You're gonna create a new password, no? So I'm gonna provide the password. So once you go into wireless controller, we need to configure the WLC name. So we're gonna put Nexus. Then you will see country is China, no? So walang option to change. Tapos as much as possible, correct yung time. No? Then you need to elect a time server. So let's say I'm in Australia para hindi nakakalito kasi ako nalilito ako minsan eh. Kala ko kanina start na eh. Hindi pa pala start no. Like 1 p.m. na almost 2 p.m. na dito sa inyo pala alas 12 pa lang. And then you need to give a IP address, management IP so you can connect. Okay. The proper subnet mask on which network it belongs, plus the gateway which the router routes to the internet. No? Then ideally, wala mo ng VLAN kasi nakakalito na dito pag marami ng VLAN. No? Chat ko na siya. Then we're gonna create a group. Okay, so we're gonna create a student group and trainer group. Okay, so to differentiate between the two groups. And then we're going to be using WPA2 or WEP. Okay, then you need to provide fast praise. If it's 40-bit, you need at least 10 digits. Okay, tandaan yan, hindi gagana yan. And if you would like to create VLAN, you can also do so. No? And then normally we turn off the guest network unless you want to turn on. So mga guest, ideally may time limit. Like let's say guest nga sila pero maximum of 1 hour. Like if you go sa airport, guest kayo 1 hour libre. No? So like before, pagdating ko ng Los Angeles, libre nga na 1 hour. Pero grabe naman yung hourly rate nila. No? Succeeding hour will be like $20. Kailangan mo na nun. No? And then we're going to set up controller, create a wireless networks and advanced settings. You can also put a virtual IP for radio frequency. And then you can promote another DHCP, yung mga external options, no? Like to point to a server, Windows server. So everything will be confirmed to you if this is correct. No? So once correct, hit apply. Okay? So ganun yung setup natin, hit apply. Then you will notice parang naghang siya. Sabihin mo but parang di gumagalaw, no? It's okay. So you give it at least 1 to 4 minutes, no? Kasi it will save sa firmware, no? In reality sa firmware 'yan eh. And then magre-reboot pa siya which will take a while. Remember, it's using flashcard, di ba? The moment it rebooted, no, you need to log in with your admin and password. Okay, then you're gonna have 2 access points. Tapos merong 2 frequency range, no? Such as 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. It's up to you, no? Pag 5 gigahertz, ito yung shorter distance. 2.4, longer distance. Na? And then we have WLC, which is the basically settings na ginawa natin kanina. Yung dinemo ko pala. And then you need to have a dynamic IP address. You can have an option sa controller to have VLAN ID. Okay, to isolate the traffic. Let's say for trainer, VLAN 10, student, VLAN 20. So there's no way to broadcast the traffic between the two. No? Much efficient. Remember kanina we have 4 ports. So let's say for student, you want 2 access point. No? So dito, ginamit niya yung port number 1. Okay? Kung meron pang pangalawa, yung port number 2 naman. And as much as possible, totally different network. So kung yung isa is 192, the other one should be something like 172. Okay? Ito 10, no? Nag-iba siya. No? Ano nangyari na dito si Lorelei? Okay, what else? DHCPs. Under DHCP, we should be specifying the range. No? So we're gonna be creating 10.10.10.100 to 200, and then least time is within sobra naman 10 minutes na. Siguro 8 hours. Okay, so we're gonna create the new scopes and so on. And then we're gonna define VLAN. Then let's examine yung config or yung spec ng 2504 because this is the one we're gonna be using. So highly scalable. You can deploy up to 75 AP access point, meaning all the user will be connecting using your AP sites, no? Yung mga parang satellite na nasa ceiling. And it can have up to 1,000 clients. Let's say sa 1 AP meron kang 100 Android phone connected. Sa second AP naman mga 50 laptop connected, no? So that means this controller can accommodate and authenticate and pass a NATed IP address up to maximum of 1,000 clients. So pwede na ba ito sa SM Mega Mall? So tingin ko enough na yan, no? Yung mga free access point, enough na yan. Kasi 1,000 ba naman? Next is ease of deployment. You can deploy because meron siyang dalawang PoE. Okay? Pero it will be useless if you have 75 access point. Kung meron ka 75 access point, you need the PoE na 75 din, di ba? So that's why you need the switch with PoE. And then high performance, it can burst up to 1 gigabit. One good thing about this is meron siyang 802.11n. No? Ito yung 300 megabit yata ito, no? And then provides real-time historical logs. You can check the log, no? And meron din siyang clean air technology, okay? So when you say clean air, low interference, okay? Impacting network performance across controller. Comprehensive end-to-end security. It's using DTLS layer. So what is DTLS? Remember, TLS is the security transport layer. Let's say, for example, you purchase an item sa Amazon or sa eBay, no? Then you have to input your first name, last name, credit card number, pati CVV. Try to imagine maraming hacker across the net. Okay? With TLS, it will encrypt yung transmission na yon. Okay? It will encrypt yung transmission na yon up to 256-bit na even hacker won't be able to do a pen testing. No? So highly secured yan. So we're talking about Cisco Enterprise Security. Okay? So that's why they call it DTLS. Datagram naman, ito yung 1 unit of packet. Okay? So it symbolized like hashtag. No? So 1 datagram equals to a certain bit amount. No? You can also pass audio. Meron siyang audio capability. So dati is may AP kami, na-test namin, no? Pinatawid namin yung VoIP kasi meron kaming free VoIP class na yun. Pinatawid namin yung VoIP via satellite. Kung may makita kang satellite dun sa office, ginawa namin access point kasi kaya niya, iba to up to 30 kilometers, no? Which is from Ortigas Center up to lagpas ng SLEX eh. Na? So na-test namin, binato namin using that high power access point, yung antenna, satellite siya. No? So pwede nyo rin gawin yan. It also integrate video. Okay, so one good thing about this, it's a converged network. Kaya niya, no? Pati video. Okay, hindi lang data, hindi lang audio, pati video transmission. Meron siya PCI integration. So when you say PCI, ito yung highly sensitive data being kept in a concept of credit card authorization, no? Sa PCI, payment card industry architecture. So highly secure and it can transmit payment then, no? Let's say PayPal, you'll be transmitting credit card transactions, no? Let's say, nagbabayad sila. Pwede nyo maggamitin din to, no? So, highly secured to. So, compared to Huawei, no, hindi natin alam kung saan binabato yung mga credit card. Malay nyo, iba to, back to China, di ba? Cisco is from San Francisco. No? So, American company. So, kung ang kumpanya nyo is banko, like BDO, BPI, no? You can have a good spiel. No? Sabihin nyo kung consultant kayo. As per Cisco spec, there is a PCI integration, meaning it comply with the credit card industry, card authorization architecture, no? PCI compliant na yan. Then, ang dami feature, no? Kung meron kayo say Cisco Aeronet, kung nakita na kayo nun, ito yung mga lumang Cisco Aeronet eh. Ito yung nasa overhead or kinakabit sa ceiling. No? So, Cisco Aeronet. May meeting ID dito. Cisco Aeronet. Yan, okay? So, isang Aeronet costs $1,000. Okay? Grabe, no? 1,000 Australian dollars. Check natin ang range nito. Kaya walang training center sa atin eh. Meron yung lumang access point, no? Na nabibili sa, ewan ko lang kung saan. So, it can transfer up to 1.3 gigabit. So, try to imagine if your laptop is 1 gig, you can maximize the potential. No? Pwede kayong kumabit up to 1.3. Always has two frequency, no? 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. So what's between the two? 5 gigahertz within a short range, no? Pero 2.4 within a longer range. No? So frequency band 20 megahertz, operating channel to 2.4. Ito yung 2.4. Ito naman 5.5 megahertz, 8 channels. Okay, then meron siyang auto sensing. Okay, then meron siyang 4 na antena. So when you say MIMO, simultaneously it can receive and send information. No? Try to imagine one antenna lang. So yung one antenna na yon, overwhelm. No? So that's why normally they put at least 3 or 4. So one doing receiving, the other one sending. No? And then you can imagine, you can separate between the two frequency. Let's say the first two will be 2.4, the other two will be 5 gigahertz. Okay, so saan ang antenna nito? Nasa loob. Iba naman, meron silang external antenna. Okay, pero it's kinda dangerous eh. Kasi when you see this one, no, baka matusok yung mata ninyo. Nakuluwa kasi yan eh. No? So, depende pa rin. Kung mataas naman ang ceiling, di ba? Why not? No? So, this is for MIMO, Aeronet. So, it's an access point. No access point. You can configure, but yung gagawin natin ngayon, no configuration. It's a plug and play. Kasi the moment you plug this one sa DHCP server, it will be automatically assign an IP address. Babatuhan na siya, then it will start sending and receiving packets. Na? Then ideally, may PoE nga. Parang wala ng kable. Okay? So ito, you can put antenna dito na yung mahabang antenna din. Yan yung mga luma. No? Ito yung mga bago na. Ito, 6 ang antenna niya. Okay? As you can see, this Aeronet is only $22. Probably second hand to. Ito naman yung external. Panlabas naman yan. Panlabas. Ito yung luma. Okay? Luma na to. So, dalawang antenna. And if you'd like to manage using console, ito yung command line interface. Mina-manage to using yung mga conf-t. No? Paano, the way you configure using CLI. Tapos may power. Ideally, dapat PoE na lang para hindi mabusisi. Okay, so this is external PoE. Just in case yung iba walang PoE, na switch, you need to purchase this one. So sa San Juan, maraming PoE na mas mura pa. No? Yan, PoE, chip PoE yan. So, yan. Okay, so yan. At least may idea na kayo. Okay, so let's start configuration. So ito na yung ating How to configure a LAN? Mas maganda kung actual. Ilalan ko na. No? Actual na natin. Okay, sige. Close ko na to. Then I'm gonna stop the recording. Stop.